What if I told you you're not too hard on yourself? You're not too sensitive. You're not overthinking too much. You're not burning out because you're weak. No, you're exhausted because no one ever taught you how to rest. And that changes everything. Because if you were never taught how to rest, then how could you ever blame yourself for feeling tired? Think about it. Since the day you became aware of yourself, you were trained to move, wake up early, go to school, get good grades, work harder, do more, be better, again and again. You were told to keep going, but no one ever sat you down and said, "This is how you pause. This is how you breathe. This is how you let life pass without chasing it." You were taught how to achieve, but never how to exist. You were taught how to chase, but never how to sit still. And slowly, without realizing it, you started to believe something dangerous, that your worth depends on how much you do, not how you feel, not who you are, but how much you produce. As a child, rest was natural. You didn't question it. You could lie on the floor, watch the ceiling, get lost in your imagination, and it was enough. You were enough. But then the world started speaking louder. Don't waste time. Be productive. Do something useful. And just like that, rest turned into guilt. Doing nothing started to feel wrong. So you adapted. You trained yourself to stay busy. Even when you were tired, you kept going. Even when your body asked for a break, you ignored it. Even when your mind felt heavy, you pushed through. Because somewhere deep inside, you believed stopping meant falling behind. And now, look at your life. Even when you finally sit down, you can't relax. Your body is still, but your mind is running. Always running. You open your phone, scroll for hours, switch between apps, watch random videos, not because you enjoy it, but because silence feels uncomfortable. Because the moment everything slows down, your thoughts get louder, and you don't know how to sit with them, so you escape. But distraction is not rest. Let that sink in. Distraction is not rest. Scrolling is not rest. Numbing yourself is not rest. Avoiding your thoughts is not rest. It's just a temporary pause before the exhaustion comes back even stronger. And that's why you feel stuck. You think you're too hard on yourself. You think you're the problem. But the truth is, you've just been running for too long, without stopping, without breathing, without ever truly resting. Your mind is tired. Your body is tired. Your soul is tired. But instead of listening to that tiredness, you fight it. You label yourself lazy, undisciplined, unfocused. You compare yourself to others. You tell yourself you should be doing more. You push harder and harder and harder until one day you don't even recognize yourself anymore because you're always tired but never resting, always busy but never fulfilled, always moving but never at peace. And the worst part? You think this is normal. You think this is just how life is supposed to feel. But it's not. You were never meant to live like this. You were never meant to exist in a constant state of pressure. You were never meant to feel guilty for simply being alive without doing anything. Listen carefully. You don't need more discipline. You don't need more motivation. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. or follow another strict routine or fix yourself. You are not broken. You are tired. And what you need is something you were never taught. Rest. Real rest. Not distraction, not escape, but true, deep, intentional rest. Rest is not quitting. Rest is not weakness. Rest is not falling behind. Rest is strength. Rest is awareness. Rest is allowing yourself to exist without pressure. It's closing your eyes without feeling guilty. It's sitting in silence without needing noise. It's taking a breath without rushing to the next thing. Imagine this. You wake up one day, and for once, you don't rush. You don't grab your phone. You don't check notifications. You don't think about everything you have to do. You just sit there, breathing, feeling the moment, letting time pass, without trying to control it. And for the first time in a long time, you feel calm. Not excited, not distracted, just calm. That feeling? That's what you've been missing. But here's the truth most people don't realize. The reason rest feels so uncomfortable is because you've built your identity around being productive. So when you stop, it feels like you're losing control. It feels like you're wasting time. It feels like you're becoming nothing. But you're not. You're just meeting yourself, without all the noise. And that's something you've been avoiding for a long time. Because it's unfamiliar. Because it's quiet. Because it forces you to face what's inside you. But on the other side of that discomfort is peace. Real peace. Not the kind you get from distraction, but the kind that stays. The kind that grounds you. The kind that reminds you that you don't have to run anymore. So start small. You don't need to change your whole life overnight. Just pause. For a few minutes, do nothing. No phone, no music, no distractions. Just sit and breathe. At first, it will feel strange. Your mind will resist. It will try to pull you back into movement. But stay, because this is where healing begins. Not in doing more, but in allowing yourself to do less. You don't need to earn your rest. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to reach a certain level to deserve peace. You deserve it. Right now. Exactly as you are. So the next time you feel like you're being too hard on yourself, pause, take a breath, and ask yourself honestly, am I really too hard on myself? Or am I just tired of never being allowed to rest? And maybe, just maybe, the answer will change everything. Because maybe you don't need to push harder. You don't need to become someone else. You don't need to fix yourself. Maybe you just need to stop for a moment, for a breath, for yourself. And finally, let yourself rest.